Ever since I think I was just 6 years old, I dreamt of going to the polar regions. I really wanted to go to the Arctic. There was something about that place which drew me to that. And, sometimes it takes a long time for a dream to come true. But 7 years ago, I went to the Arctic for the first time. And it was so beautiful that I've been back there ever since for the last 7 years. I love the place. But I have seen that place change beyond all description just in that short period of time. I have seen polar bears walking across very thin ice in search of food. I have swum in front of glaciers, which have retreated so much. And I have also, every year, seen less and less sea ice. And I wanted the world to know what was happening up there. In the 2 years before my swim, 23% of the Arctic sea ice cover just melted away. And I wanted to really shake the lapels of world leaders to get them to understand what is happening. So I decided to do this symbolic swim at the top of the world in a place which should be frozen over, but which now is rapidly unfreezing. And the message was very clear. Climate change is for real, and we need to do something about it, and we need to do something about it right now. And then after a year of training, I felt ready. I felt confident that I could actually do this swim. So myself and the 5 members of the team, we hitched a ride on an icebreaker which was going to the North Pole. And on day 4, we decided to just do a quick 5-minute test swim. I had never swum in water of minus 1.7 degrees before because it's just impossible to train in those type of conditions. So we stopped the ship, as you do. We all got down onto the ice. And I then got into my swimming costume and I dived into the sea. I have never in my life felt anything like that moment. I could barely breathe. I was gasping for air. I was hyperventilating so much. And within seconds, my hands were numb. And the paradox is that you're in freezing cold water, but actually you're on fire. I swam as hard as I could for 5 minutes. I remember just trying to get out of the water. I climbed out of the ice. And I remember taking the goggles off my face and looking down at my hands in sheer shock because my fingers had swollen so much that they were like sausages. And they were swollen so much I couldn't even close them. What had happened is that we are made partially of water. And when water freezes, it expands. And so what had actually happened is that the cells in my fingers had frozen and expanded and they had burst. And I was in so much agony. I immediately got rushed onto the ship and into a hot shower. And I remember standing underneath the hot shower and trying to defrost my fingers. And I thought, in 2 days' time, I was going to do this swim across the North Pole. I was going to try and do a 20-minute swim for 1 kilometer across the North Pole.